Hey, good afternoon. This is Lebanon in Depth, and this is our first of 2 holiday shows. This is kind of the spirit of what we all should be, is to pull together and to help one another. And we have today with me, we have a really wonderful organization. It's Good Beginnings of Sullivan County. And I, of course, went out, my standard, is because I take all the benefits. I buy eggnog and I buy Christmas cookies for these shows. So I'm off my diet, only for the show though, only for the show, and then I'll be back on it. So if Dr. Socher is out there watching me, it's just, I'm just doing this for the show. It's part of showbiz. So with that, I'd like to introduce Ali Titsi, and I'd like to have you talk about Good Beginnings of Sullivan County and a little bit about your role, and then how we're going about with this organization that I just greatly admire and serving and helping others.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks for having us on today. And happy holidays to you and to all of the wonderful people who work for the City of Lebanon and live in the City of Lebanon. Good Beginnings of Sullivan County covers not only Sullivan County, but Grafton County as well, Lower Grafton County, the City of Lebanon. So 2 counties actually
covered to some degree.
Right, and we originally were only in Sullivan County, and then we expanded our services into Lower Grafton County probably 3 or 4 years ago now. And we provide professional home visits to families who are struggling as parents generally. They are either pregnant and have some complications or are at risk for complications, or have a child, a baby or a young child, and they need additional help. We provide nurses, certified parent educators, and a licensed mental health worker who go into the home and help children and families to get off to the best possible start in life. So this is a great program for us to be on, because at Christmas time, the focus often is on children.
Yes.
And we are very happy to have the focus on children at this point. The needs of families at this time are significant. We're seeing a lot of families where parents have lost their jobs, families that have special health needs, children with special health needs, and there is a lot of need out there. And so our role is to go into the home and help parents in their own environment and help the children get off to a really good start in life. We know, all of the research has told us now, what we've always known intuitively, but now there's a science base to tell us that those first years really count. They make a difference not only in the first 5 years, but they make a difference for the rest of one's life. We have scientific proof now that what happens in those first years actually influences things like heart disease in adults.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. So now we know this for sure. And so it's very, very important for the health of the whole community to give kids a good start in life and a healthy start in life. Prevent trauma, prevent poor birth outcomes, and to promote the best possible health, socially, physically, emotionally, nutrition, the whole range of health.
Just the whole 360-degree approach to when Good Beginnings of Sullivan County enters into a situation with a person that you're serving. It's like, sounds to me like it's like real wraparound, looking at the situation, assessing it.
Exactly. We do kind of a variety of things, but we provide care coordination and case management. We assess needs. We do a lot of screenings, developmental screenings of children, depression screenings of mothers. We look at the home environment. Is it safe for the family? And we do a lot of work with collaborating agencies to make sure that families have the services that they need. We don't necessarily provide all those services. We work with the partners in the community to help get families connected depending on the needs that they have.
So it's a collaborative effort as well.
Definitely.
So that when you do the needs assessment and they determine there are possibilities here of some need that could be also contributed toward meeting by another entity, then Good Beginnings, Sullivan, are one of those collaborative partners we have.
Right. You know, recently we saw a mom who had her first baby when she was in 6th grade and went on to have 3 more babies. Is now in her early 20s with 4 young children. When we started working with her, she was homeless. She had a significant medical issue. One of her children had a significant medical issue. All of the children were hungry. There were enormous needs, and she walked in off the street.
Wow.
You know, and now she has a home. Her children are in school or childcare, and she is starting to look at, you know, some educational opportunities for herself and starting to move toward independence.
That's a wonderful story. You know, that's a real holiday story. It's a story year round though, because even though here in the holiday times we often start feeling, you know, our emotions and, you know, our spirit is you know, in a certain frame. I know I get that way. I tend to get, you know, I get teary-eyed. I tend to get that way. But I think the important thing for all of us is that when we pull together to provide the help, in terms of support, the hand, whatever people need, is that we should do it 365, 24/7.
Right.
And we should never stop until we reach a point where we're a better place. Because there's no reason that people need to be alone in facing challenging situations. Things happen in life. And it would never happen to me, but it can very much happen in your family. You don't know when that might happen. And you could, whether it's your neighbor or it's your family or it's the persons that go to school with your children, that this is really all of us. So this is not a case of the other. There's no other here. It's us. This is us.
Exactly. And, you know, I have to say that that's one of the best parts of the region that we live in. I'm probably a little biased about this,
yes,
but
I know you really have great pride in this area you live.
There's a very caring community that really wants what's best for children and families here. And people step up, people volunteer, people donate to our thrift store, people donate funds, people donate diapers, people donate toys and books, and we have First Baptist Church of New London has started a whole book project with us so that we can give a new board book to every baby in our program for the first 3 years of life. So, I mean, that's a significant investment in family literacy. And these are babies that wouldn't have board books otherwise. So there are many initiatives like that that come from people in the community. They really care about the future of their community. They know that we're an aging population, and in Grafton County, it's, you know, they call it the silver tsunami, we are really aging in New Hampshire as a whole, but in Grafton and Sullivan County, young people are moving away, and the young people who are here, we need to invest in them now, because 20 years from now, there's going to be even fewer young people to carry on the work and do what needs to be done in the community. We need to look at those young people now and give them the tools, give them that great start in life that's going to get them through school and through life, and give them a healthy life That's how we improve the life of the community.
That's really an incredible example of sustainability and resiliency.
Right.
Because, I mean, one of the core outcomes that the city has identified through the leadership of the city council has been the sufficiency and resiliency in our community for everyone. Right. Everyone should have sufficiency and resiliency in dealing with our world. And the generational thing, as you say, that's very insightful, because it truly is the pattern of the demographics. I mean, I'm part of the wave being born in '46 that are sweeping through, and we are getting older. Unfortunately, my eyesight's on the wave. You know, it's like the night driving starts to be a little bit. You know, there's all kinds of things going on with a person, and the younger generation, if they get fewer in number and they have to carry on in a more difficult world, where you have to have the competencies, the competencies to be able to communicate well, to kind of plan and self-direct, and to look at this new wave of technologies you end up living with now, and create places that people will want to live and be, and so many other places get abandoned and left behind, and we don't want to be that way. We want to be a healthy. We want to be a healthy community.
And we want to be a place where people want to raise their children. And we are that kind of place now, and we want to just keep beefing that up.
But I notice I know that you have, in the good beginnings of Sullivan County, that there's a bit of a beating you've been taking in terms of just the funding environment, the things that are out there, I'm not sure we got our priorities straight in our world yet. It seems to me it just keeps sometimes it's devolution, and not the kind of evolution into a place we want to be with funding. How hard you been hit?
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. The state of New Hampshire has basically eliminated all funding for prevention of child abuse and neglect, but of course there's still millions of dollars for treatment of child abuse and neglect, because that's mandated.
Yeah, so that's required, but that which is not required is that's
and that has been completely just decimated. And so that's one of the things that we're hoping will change in the future, is that there will be a greater focus on prevention, because it's very hidden, but there is a lot of child abuse and neglect that we see, and that doesn't bode well for us and for children. And we are trying desperately to support families, and when we also provide a service when children are removed from the home, we provide the services to reunite the family. And we don't want that to be as big a part of our service array as it is right now.
Yeah.
It used to be a much smaller part of what we did, and that has been a larger part of what we do recently. And we would like to see a lot more focus on prevention than there currently
I really
is.
do share that. Now, as we close, if people want to help Good Beginnings of Sullivan County, how would they approach it?
Okay.
What would they do?
Well, they can volunteer, so giving your time. And there's lots of ways to volunteer, from our thrift store to administrative help to working directly with families after training. Giving your talents. So if you have a particular skill that you might offer. And then treasure. We have a children's thrift store that operates out of Claremont that helps support our program. So saving your children's gently used clothing and items and baby supplies and donating them is very helpful to us. And then certainly making donations. This time of year is really the time of year that we solicit donations to our annual appeal, and they can go on the website, gbnh.org, and give a donation. That's very helpful to us.
That's great. And what we'll do is we'll put the website up on the show today so that people will see the website and they'll go right to the website and follow the website's quite well put together. I've went into it. It's really great, and go into it. Well, I guess the message here for Good Beginnings of Sullivan County is they're doing wonderful work for our community. And I want us all to think about strongly how we can better support them in that effort. And let's all do our part. My first role in life as a theater person was as Scrooge in my 6th grade class, and I was Scrooge. And I don't think we should be a humbug Scrooge. I think we need to be the Scrooge that saw the light, what the future would lie, and that the future can change because we can change. And so we should change and do better, and pull together and do better by Good Beginnings of Sullivan County and the other providers we have who are trying to serve people. They're with us. Let's help them. Thank you, Ellie, and give my thanks to all the members of your Good Beginnings of Sullivan County. And you're going to have to take a cookie and take your eggnog with you, and have a delightful holiday season.
Happy holidays, Greg.
Yeah, happy
Thanks
holidays.
so much.
Thank you so much.